Hey, happy Friday. How's it going, guys? Doing well? I'm trying to figure out how does my starting soon screen get some audio that is not there. It doesn't make sense. Hope you guys doing well. Happy Friday. Congratulations, you have made it to the end of the week. Yay! Huzzah! Yeah, I hope you guys do well. Today we're gonna be, I guess, re-rendering a lot of stuff. Because yesterday during our testing, right, we learned that, well, actually, the shadow thing wasn't the shadow problem, actually. The shadow thing was actually the problem of the compression, not the shadows. I need to re-look at them. But we need to look at the textures. They need to be set to uncompressed, it seems, for best results. At the very least, we're doing that. And if it's fine, then we keep it. Otherwise, we'll need to re-render. If you don't, then we just move on to the next stuff. And we're good. But it is now the 1st. So what's the plan for this month? Definitely to finish the animations. That is step 1. Step 1, 100%. Gotta finish having all the animations in. And then we go from there. Yeah, because there's stuff that I want to do, mechanics-wise. Like, I want to rework the dash. I want to do a combo system. There's still a lot of stuff. But I think the first thing is we need to finish the animations. So, shall we jump into it? There we go. And also, I was playing around yesterday, trying to figure out what the problem was. And from what I noticed here, right, if you recall, we had like noise going across this. But when I changed the compression to uncompressed, it went away. So if I went default, you can see, like, you see that right is not the same. That is clearly different. And then uncompressed, it's actually the same. It should be. I don't know why. And it's the best one I have, because even like BC7 compression has some issues. Was it versus uncompressed? Actually, no. BC7 is actually working okay. Yeah, BC7 I think might be okay. Let's take a look real quick. Nope. Yeah, it still has issues. So yeah, see how that's causing issues. And if we go uncompressed, beautiful. Default, real bad. Obviously we can't do like non-sRGB ones. I mean, technically we could, but that still has issues. It's definitely not any of these would be possible. Yeah, the only option really is the unfortunate thing is it goes from 455 kilobytes to 1,822. but it fixes all the problems, right? The thing is, it fixes all the problems. So, in a sense, we gotta do it. Which also begs the question. See, here we don't see that problem. We don't have that problem here. Why? Or did I set this already to uncompressed? Hold on. I might have already set it to uncompressed. No, this is default. Is it different? It's so hard to tell because every time I change it, it goes blurry and I have to reload it. Hold on, this is brown here. Uncompressed. Oh yeah, it's supposed to be gray. Yeah, so it's messing with the colors entirely. So that's really odd. I don't know why. It's not a no mid mass, it's not this. It's literally the compression. Has to be uncompressed. Yeah, very high memory use. But I don't know the alternative, so that's all we gotta do. That's what we gotta do. So the other thing is the shadow. So this has no shadow from like the hair. This has shadows enabled, but I guess our problem turned out to be not shadow related. We do have this kind of stuff, which is like shadows of the body parts shadowing here. Right, like that's the hand, I'm pretty sure, shadowing there. So I guess let's re-render at the very least this one with shadows again. And let's see what it looks like with shadows enabled and this uncompressed. So the very least we'll have the answer for that. Whether shadows is actually a problem or not. So it is this one. Just curiosity, and let's just take a screenshot of you. Shadow, render. So what do we have? What's the difference? So this is without shadow. So this is without shadow. We get the highlight here, which we're losing here because of the shadow. We get a little bit of shadowing here, sort of. Right from that. Over here. It's a little more shadowed here in the fit. I mean, honestly, I prefer this, actually. I kind of prefer this unshadowed version. We already have some shadowing in terms of like the normal in a sense. Let's keep it unshadowed. And let's take a look at the other one. Let's try the other one. Yeah. Let's keep it unshadowed. So let's go. We can do. Let's take a look at the other ones real quick. We can look at the attack one. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at the noise on the body. Even though she's not moving, yeah. So we can go here. Uncompressed. Research size is going up like crazy. But now, there we go. Now it's clean. In terms of shadowing, I mean, you can see the shadow of her arm here, right? So you definitely can see the shadow, and I think it's better without it. I think it's better without it for the reason that it's on a sprite you can't tell the actual 3D-ness of it. So yes, it's a shadow, but it might not line up with the light perfectly. So you know what? Let's try no shadow. I also, where is copy? Paste. Let's do you. So we're gonna go to. So visibility. Turn off the shadow. It'll also make the legs appear better. What happened there? Shadow here, and turn off the shadow here. Shouldn't matter too much on these, but it might. Yeah, look at that. So if we turn this back on. Yeah, so the backlag is like fully shadowed versus being able to see it. Like more interesting like shapes there. Plus some minuses, right? Plus some minuses. But where do you have some shadows in the material, right? The material's already doing the lifting here in terms of shadows and stuff. So I feel like this is fine. Let's do this. Camera, we can make it a little bit smaller. Now. Something like this, I think, is fine. And we can just make it a lot shorter. In Y, 50? Probably too little. Oh, actually lined up pretty well. You can probably go even smaller, honestly. $45? If we're going uncompressed, right? At least we can safe on the resolution front. That's unfortunate. What I can do at the probably is just go to edit. Okay. Can I not edit it in post? How do I? Because if I just grab, well, you know what I can do? I can just put a 1 here, which will move it out of the way. And then I can use. How do I use the sculpt brush? I don't know enough Blender to know how to use the sculpt brush. Sculpt brush. Oh, you probably need to go under sculpting. Oh, I can sculpt. When I do sculpt, it's in position. Got back. I was using the wrong. I was on the wrong leg anyway. Sculpt mode. Can I? I just did this, and I went to sculpt mode. Is it going to just affect the thing that I want? No, it's not. Mask. Can I do it from selected? Mask extract? No. Blender, sculpt mask by selection. Select the face in edit mode. Sculpt mode. From the face sets menu, choose face set from edit. That didn't do anything. Oh, I see. Faces from edit selection, and then mask or options auto masking faces. Where's options? What options are we talking about? Oh, options here. Yes? No? No, not those options. Auto masking faces. Huh, but didn't work. Oh, now it's okay. Now it's selected. Oh, this is different. This is not the same thing. Oh, god damn it! Because it's the front of leg and the back of leg. That's why. That's why. Okay, we're learning. We're learning. Okay, well, it's a little bit of an indent there. It's fine. It's fine. Main thing is it will now no longer render that light pixel. Yeah, all right. Good enough. And she fits. Sweet. I need to just slightly adjust the camera position. Yeah, that's good enough. Okay, so no shadows. Everything seems good. We also dropped in resolution. We were rendering at 101 by 202, and now we're doing 171 by 45. That's pretty good. I did figure out some way of... I don't think it's possible. Of saying where along an image the center is. Because it's rendering in all directions, I need to keep the character consistently in the center of the image for ease of use, right? So that way when it goes left, it actually goes left. Because in Unreal, right, you say, where's the pivot? You can say custom, and you do a custom pivot point, but I think that's, hold on, if I do custom, yeah, it's custom on every pixel, or every sprite would have its own custom number. I don't know if I'm ready for that one. I don't know if I'm ready for that one. Yeah. Let's go ahead and render this out. Let me actually clear out that folder first. Hey, games of awesomeness, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Happy Friday. Text, deck away, sprites, delete everything. Go. Try to figure out in PC how you can find the middle or center points of the bounds or spline sampler. Well, you have find the middle or center points of the bounds. We'll just get the actual location. In terms of the bounds, you just get the actual location. Right? Because it's that is the center and it expands out. That's the bounds. Right? Unless you've offset your bounds for whatever reason. But typically, it's just gonna be wherever your point already is. Spline sampler, there's no real center. Are you defining a center of a spline that's weird shape? You have a certain part that's really narrow, then a part that's really big, and another part that's really narrow, all within one spline. What do you define as center? Hey Henry, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. This is 171 by 45. Yeah. Indexation. Just generate. 8's way too low. Between 16 and 18. Is there a difference? I don't see a difference. I see a difference in the sword. Yeah, we want the... Ooh, why is it pink in the sword? 19? 20? Okay. 20... Okay, so it has to be 22 to get the sword one. Oh, you know what I can do? I can do... That's fine, it's fine. Just use this. You're not going to notice issues with it. Is the thick protagonist finally ready for her performance? I mean, I had a devlog out today. I know no one watches those. But she's already in the devlog. I've been working on her for weeks. Well, she's already had her performance for a while. What is the name of that, actually? It's attack combo A _1. You saw it already, just so you could say it again? I'll pretend to believe you. And we do not need to open it. Export. If you did watch it, thank you. Yeah, let's see. Yeah. Okay, so just export that. And then bring in you. Edge normal. you. And then let's take a look at what potentially will be the difference. Right, we have the dark leg. Let's see if that changes when we re-import. Contain what we wanted. Okay, these all show replaced. Good. So I named it all correctly. Currently working on your character animations. Nice. It was a mistake to build your game as a co-op FPS. Now you have to create 2 animations for everything. No, you don't. You create the animations once and then you just transfer. Migrate it over. Assuming your rig is, both humanoid, you should be able to just migrate it over. You do PCG buildings, but you build the buildings in the middle of like their own actor? What you later try to do is make a city which holds those blocks of buildings. And 0 is the corner. Is in the corner. Figure out the center to the blocks. Oh, you're not bugging me. I mean, again, how are you again? How do you define a center? Like, because I need to do you sec. Because, like, if you have a building like this, what are you considering the center? Are you considering the center just being the distance here and the distance here? Are you considering the center being where, like, this is far bigger of a density, isn't going to move this way because of the density? Like, what are you considering as the center? There is no real center. Like, it's like, and whatever the distance is of this thing, you just offset it. So if you built it with the corner here, you just say, okay, now move this half of the distance of this building or this spline. Find the point furthest on X this way and this way, combine them, divide by 2, and you have the center one. But I don't know if that's what you consider the center. It really depends what you do, how you are defining center of not a box or circular, like, actual center object. True FPS anims look awful. What are true FPS anims? Odette. Yeah, you know what? I think no shadows helps. Right? Because this part was darker, which didn't really kind of make sense. We have shadows already from them on the material level. So another shadow of, like, the arm shadowing is just, I think, was throwing it off. So the hair will not cast a shadow on the body. But I feel like that's more true to pixel art anyway. So I feel like that's fine. Like, I feel like that's better. Regardless. And these that are made for third person and first person? I mean, you don't have to use them. You're making your own, though, right? So, you're good. Hey, Dark Shadow, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. The center is the center of the cube. You try to take the bounds min and max divide. Yeah, that's the center. But it's not the center, really. You just change the bound size. What? Why would it change the bound size if you're just dividing something? Just doing math doesn't... Like, don't set the bounds with the output. No one's forcing you to divide and then set it back. BCG has a thing that says, where do you want to, like, do you want to apply this somewhere? If you don't want to apply it to bounds, then just don't apply it to bounds. It's like, save it as a new attribute, and you can use that value somewhere else. Yeah, no one's forcing you to, like, use the bounds for calculations and then apply it to bounds. She have a name yet? So originally it was gonna name Eris, and then this design was too close to the Eris from Mushoku Tensei in design. Like this design was way too close, right? And I've been redesigning her. Eris, E-R-I-S, Eris, which is also her name, and she looks very similar in design. So I've been redesigning the main character. This one? No, not this one. This was what my reference was for the bottom. Hold on. There's a bunch of pictures. Which one is it? Hold on. Oh, here we go. This is the new redesign. So that's where I am currently with the new redesign, which I like a lot more. Certain things I still want to change. I need to get like an actual like concept artist, like character concept artist to do a proper turntable. But I'm not thrilled with this, but she's a lot more interesting now than than her here. I mean, obviously this is the one with like no textures, but nevertheless, yeah, this is the idea. The cape fire thing might need to go away. Because I don't know how well that will read in pixel art. So, and what I realized is two things. One, right, it needs to be a little more stylized proportionally. Like, she doesn't need to, be... I'm going to talk about all this in the devlog. Hey, Kane, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. She needs to be a little more proportionally interesting, so it reads a little better, maybe as a sprite. So I might I might need to find a sprite artist. Or someone who can do concept art and sprite art. Which would be hard to find. Because I just need to like translate this into a better concept. Like an actual like proper like person-made concept. Using this as the reference or general idea. And then figure out how it's supposed to like look as a pixel art. And then from there, the actual model of it probably just needs to be like a low poly, like a low poly model. Is my guess. Because there's no reason to do like a full character, as I realized. Like a full 3D character. Well, like it needs to be 3D, obviously, but I mean, like it doesn't need to be like a, you know, a high res one. A low poly one is all I need because I'm doing this with it, right? So because of that, I feel like I have a lot of leeway in that regard. And then I can have like an actual artist make, you know, sort of like Hades do, like, here's a picture of that character in whatever pose or anything for like the talking scenes, or whatever else, right? Oh, so Devilify the right work. Well, yeah, that's why I've been saying, like, I've been prototyping this game for a while. I keep changing things because like like X thing doesn't work, Y thing doesn't work. When you get like Y thing up to like a certain level, you realize the X thing that you had before that you were happy with, and now it doesn't work with the new one. But you prefer the Y, right? It's like, but I don't have a deadline, so I'm gonna keep tweaking it until like I'm happy. Like right now, yesterday, we found out that two things. One, the compression was giving us issues. And two, it looks better without a shadow. So, for example, here the arm is casting a shadow onto the cape. But you can't tell, really, like what's going on here. It's pixel art. So, in that regard, it's actually not clear. It's just more color noise. Compared to this one now, that doesn't have that, but still looks fine, right? Because you still have the shading of the material. The, I'm relatively pleased with how the hair and this came out. So we're gonna re-render that, and then like same thing with the run. Run to the left. So if we take a look, if you look here, it's very noisy, and I thought that was normal, but actually what's happening is this, as we found out yesterday, or I found out actually yesterday after the stream, needs to be set to uncompressed, which is going to go from 736 kilobytes to almost 3 megabytes. But look how much cleaner that looks. Let me go back. You see how much noise there is? Like, you can just tell it feels a little noisy. And then when you go to here, it looks a lot cleaner. And if I just remove the shadows as well, it's going to look even cleaner. Because then you won't have like the arm randomly casting shadows or long shadows on the cape. I think it's going to be even cleaner looking, which I think is good. So that's, we're going to be kind of, right? We're slowly figuring out what needs to be done. Which is good. Okay, let's do the idle 2 one first. So we did the weapon. Let's do idle 2. Well, idle 2 needs the animation update, right? So let's not do idle 2. Idle 2 needs the animation update. What doesn't need the animation update is the dash. Right, this needs to go to uncompressed. That is already cleaner. Right, if I pause here, you just look at the frame, right? You can see here the arms shadow right there. Right, you can see the arm shadow, the shadow. And I think it could look interesting to have that, but I feel like for the look I'm going for, it doesn't help, it hurts. Hey, Sir, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Hello to you as well. And lo as well. Lo. So, let's go to copy you. Let's load up the dash. You know how you type that? Well, I know how you did it. Yeah, that one's not hard to figure out. You press the buttons on your keyboard. That's how you did it. How long have I been working on this project? Real world time, a little over 2 years. In terms of like productivity time, if you consider me working on it like 40 hours a week, then like 5 to 6 months currently of like full-time work. Estimated. It might be highballing it, but around there, I think, is the last time we checked. Yeah, we can make this lower. Nope, not that low. Yeah, I think that's the limit. Yeah. To bounce back to put the L at the end, your finger and use something you didn't. Your fingers have minds of their own. Looks really cozy and nice. When does it come to Steam or somewhere you can try it? I can try it on my Patreon, but it's definitely not a cozy game. It's a deck building action RPG. Hey, Elbaheth, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. And thank you. Yes, this is why are you small again? Oh, now you're fine. The hell? Well, we're gonna be reworking this anyway, so yeah, this is a deck. It's a deck building. There's a deck builder. Action RPG. So Okay, imagine combining games like Path of Exile, Diablo, those kind of games, with Binding of Isaac, and Hades. Combine all of those. Oh, and a deck builder. So those 3 games and a deck builder. In GTA 6, nah, maybe not that one. Yeah, it needs to load all the effects and stuff. Just load it all. Okay. There we go. Now we're loading it. Okay, great. Run. Boink. Gotcha. Yeah, so that's the game. And then you have a bunch of passive power-ups that just all stack, like Binding of Isaac, except they're cards you can put in your deck and unlock them based on cards you have in your deck. You get, so like games like Hades have you choose between 3 power-ups, and so do I, except mine are from your deck, and then you choose one of them. So I have these 3 cards in the deck, and I can use Speed Boost, and I got a Speed Boost now. And they're like Binding of Isaac, where they're all passive. So, and they all stack together, and a lot of them just affect each other. That's not where I am. That's not good. Too many of these guys causing issues for me right now. There. You're down. You're down. Okay. I'm so close to, really? I'm that close to a level up. Okay, where's a trash mob? Any trash mob. There we go. There's the actual, like, when I level up, that's when I get access to the cards. And here I can have, like, here's the cards. And they have sometimes things that come with them. You can see what they are. This unstackable does not stack with other cards of the same name. Keeps highest tier. So I can do Strike, get some armor, temper vulnerability. There's a bunch of them. And they all kind of stack together and stuff. And that's where we are. Like the fact that outside the fire, the distortion, I can't take any credit for it. It came with the fire. Are there also cards with 2 modifications? So blessing and curse at the same time? Yes. So the way it works is you can get extra powerful cards from the shop. So when you get the 3 card options for picking your card, you pick only one. You get only one of them. The other 2 go into the shop pool. In the shop, there's a chance of them being cursed. If they become a cursed card, they become much more powerful than even tier 3 cards, but they also come with a negative. So, like for example, maybe the health up one gets the boost, so maybe you now get like 150 extra max life, but now you take X amount more damage, or now you're slower, or now, right, So you get a much more powerful benefit, but you also get a negative that goes with it. Yeah. And that's from the shop. Obviously, there'll be cards that are just by themselves naturally will just say damage up, health down, or health up, damage down. That I have yet to implement, but right. I'm talking about like actual, like true, like negatives. Yeah. We got curses. You're doing all without gas, right? Yep. No gas here. Bad smell. We don't. I mean, you know, we don't want to have the bad smell here. Crazy.
Edge detected. Pausing for capitalism.
So it's also like Curse of the Gods. What's the Curse of the Gods? I assume that's from Hades. But I didn't play Hades 2 enough to probably remember that or see that. I didn't play a lot of it. Yeah, Gas is a gameplay ability system that is C++ in Unreal Engine. Oh, that's the name of a game. Oh, I was just thinking Hades because there's a bunch of gods there. So you know, I was like, yeah, you know what? I wouldn't put it past it. Based around curses, power-ups, always with negatives. Yeah, mine will not always have negatives, but yeah, you could definitely come across. I have 2 curses right now. And there's basically just a chance for a shop card. So you can basically you can buy power-ups that you chose not to take, and there's a chance for them to become extra powerful. And I like that idea because you might think like, oh, I should take the damage up when it comes, but maybe you don't take the damage up and see if you can roll it in the shop. And if you rolled it in the shop, see if you can get a cursed version of it to become more powerful. So, you know, it's like, do you take the ones you want, or do you, try to roll it? Because the shop only has 3 cards, but like the first floor, you can only access the 3 cards for the shop, but you can level up 5 times. So you can have 15 cards in the shop pool on the first thing. But once you click in the shop, it locks in whatever cards it generates. So if you only unlocked the first one, that means 2 cards went to the shop pool. So those 2 cards are guaranteed if you were to go to find the shop without unlocking any more cards. So you would guarantee those first 2 cards. The third one will be like a 50-50 on the next roll. But the first 2 are guaranteed. So that makes it very interesting. Like, hey, okay. Now you can be like, I need to plan this. Because especially on that first one, like, okay, I'll take the secondary one and roll on that, hopefully get the better version of it in the shop. I feel like it's a little more interesting with the thought process that goes into it. Okay, so we're turning off shadows, right? You can see here, this is all shadow. Turn that off, right? That's no more shadow. I don't know why her arm is broken. Don't ask. Right, we do this. Let's take a look at. We already looked at. Right, we already looked at the positioning. So now, yeah. How did I close it? Dash. render. Yeah, for me, it's a balance of I don't want every single power up to just be like a stat thing. I want a lot of like fun ones, but the fun ones, it's hard to get the fun ones to all work together. So it depends on like what the fun ones are. Hey, Face After Face, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Size of this. 63 by 45. You kind of like gas in terms of conditional when and if you can use a spell. I mean, yeah, gas has a lot of cool stuff. It requires C++ though. Right, that's kind of the one little problem with it, is it requires C++. Okay. Let's copy the name. Easy. A sprite. Same folder. Full canvas. Don't open. Export. Yes, all right. It's 11 frames. I guess it's just +1 every time. Oh wait, we don't want the entire thing. I just remembered that we cut a bunch of stuff. Let's instead we cut a bunch of frames, so we might as well actually cut a bunch of frames here. For sure it's like to 6 now. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7 frames. Let me just check. How many do we have actually in the dash now? Yeah, 0 to 6. Yeah. Almost none though. It took you 1 day to set up all the C++ stuff. Yeah, I watched a 4-minute tutorial on how to set it up. Great tutorial. went through everything, the entire project wouldn't compile. I don't know C++. So just like, fuck me, basically, right? At that point. What do? I don't know. So, right? Like, turns out later on, like months and months down the line, I found out, oh yeah, there was a problem in that specific version of Unreal where you had to go into another place altogether, into the engine stuff, and change one line. That is a non-starter for me. That is a non-starter. Fuck that. Fuck that. No. How do you apply use values? What do you mean? Get the value, set the value. It's a variable. What do you mean? How you calculate the stack in cards that are equipped? I set a variable and I get a variable. So gaming blueprint? Yes, 100% blueprints. Like I use some plugins that are C++, but in terms of like the game is like literally, I cannot even click this button because it is not a C++ project. There's nothing that I need that I cannot do in blueprints. Absolutely nothing. Actually cooking? I do not need C++. I find actual coding to be one of the most boring things in the world. I cannot stand just writing the syntax. I've tried learning programming multiple times. I've just always got bored. Going all the way back to like pre-college, I tried to learn. And I tried learning recently. Just can't. It's not for me. It is the most boring shit in the world to me. Hey KMO, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. I'm glad you found him helpful. I'm glad you found them helpful. Actually, recent. Well, I guess the path's slightly different now because of the shadow thing. Yeah, it needs to be the extra 2. What about using cloud code for C++? What is cloud code? You mean having someone else do it for me? Then why am I doing it at all? Unity is way more fun coding wise. It's the same thing. You type in words, and you need to remember the semicolon, and to capitalize the right thing. And fuck that. No. I absolutely detest coding. It is so boring. I'm not saying like nobody should code. I'm saying for me, it's I tried many times. It's not for me. You're C++ coder and learn Blueprint really fast. Now that you started PCG like 6 months ago, you're actually having a tough time. PCG's hard. See, for me, PCGs, like the basics of PCGs are simple. The nice thing about like any node-based stuff in Unreal is it's all color-coded. If you can't do something, and you can just drag out, right? Like what I can do in Unreal is open up anything and be like, oh, look at the color. I can be like, oh yeah, that's all colored. And then I can zoom out and be like, oh, there's my start of game section. There's my action section. There's my UI section. There's my utility section. Okay, now in the utility section, oh yeah, I have this here. Cool. Where this is getting, like, it's all visual. And I mean, at first glance, I can just visually see everything at a glance. Like, I need this. I need visual. I'm an artist. Like, I started as an artist. I didn't start as a coder. I'm not a coder. Debugging blueprints is godlike. TBD though, sometimes you need hot releads. It takes time. Harder to catch a bug, so much time. The fact that you can have things not work because you forgot a semicolon, or the last time I was trying to learn C++, like I think just last year, I tried it again, and I couldn't get a print string working because I forgot to capitalize the word print. Fuck that. I can't be bothered. I am way too lazy for that shit. No. If you're telling me it's not gonna work because I forgot to capitalize the word P, the letter P in print, fuck, that's not for me. I can't be bothered. I can't. Debugging blueprints is pure crap. You often can't even look at specific parameters or variables that should be available in the context. Sometimes it also steps over things. And if you add more breakpoints, it stops. Oh, I never use breakpoints. I don't like breakpoints. I use print string. Print string just gives me all the information I could possibly need. Or if I need like more information, I use a text and format text. And then I have things organized and formatted nicely, like all together. Yeah, I don't use breakpoints pretty much at all. I prefer just prints. Also, like, if you ever have one of them go into a loop, may God have mercy on your soul. Because stepping through that is just, I gave up. I much prefer print strings. It just gives me all the information I want at that time. And I usually never want to read about like just a one-time thing. I want to see what it is over time. So for me, like, I very much prefer print strings by like an astronomical margin. You said there's no way to sometimes see variables? No, I said you see the variables at specific times because you use the print string. Yeah, I see it. Whenever I put print string is at the time where it prints. No, that's the I said the exact opposite of what you wrote. that there is a way of see the variable at that specific time. It's called print string or print text. Oh, you're answering the guy. Got it. You can't print string whole structs or classes. I've never needed, in all my time, I've never needed to check all 10 structs. And yeah, if there is a scenario where I need to do that, that will be the one time I use a breakpoint. But in 99% of cases, I won't. I'm not saying I never use breakpoints and I just refuse to use them. But it's just 99% of the time, I'd rather just use a print string. That's all. Yeah, a blueprint debugger is under debug blueprint debugger. It's this thing. I can't tell you how this works. And if you're wondering, oh, where's the great documentation and videos explaining this? I'm sure they exist, but nothing that I was able to follow last time I checked. So I'm sure, I mean, I haven't checked in a while, to be fair. I'm sure it's better now. Yeah, it's just debug, blueprint debugger. Yeah. Yeah, I do like 99% of the time for me, it's just a print string. Well, okay. 90% of the time, it's a print string. 9% of the time, it's a print text. Probably more print string still. And then like the 1% is the actual breakpoint. But I think I've used breakpoints less than a handful of times ever. So 1% is probably very generous. It's more like 0.01% in my case. Blueprint debugger totally crashes your machine. It's a pain when using hard reference. Oof. That sucks. And by the way, to be clear, there is no wrong way to debug something. If you get to the result, then as far as I'm concerned, you debugged it just fine. I mean, not just me in general about anything. How you get to the answer does not matter. As long as you got to the answer, right? 2 plus 2 is 4. 1 plus 3 is 4. 5 minus 1 is 4. So it's better to place breakpoints and step through and see the whole context than one print string? For what give me a... Where am I trying to see whole context that a print string won't tell me? Usually I'm trying to check one thing. I'm usually not trying to see 20 things. I'm trying to see like, hey, is this one thing working? And then from there, okay, let's, you know, and we go from there. Oh yeah, I know how breakpoints work. Yeah. But in 99% of cases, I'd just rather use a print string. You have strong opinions on programming stuff, even though you say you're not a programmer? I don't, though. None of my opinions have anything to do with anyone else besides me. I'll tell you what I like and what I don't like, but I don't give a rat's ass what you guys do. I have zero opinions for anyone else. I can only tell you what I like and what I don't like. I don't think those are opinions. That's just me explaining what I like and what I don't like. I couldn't care less what anyone else does. You could tell me you were making the entire game in C++, I'd be like, cool, nice. You could tell me the only thing that is a pet peeve of mine, it was when someone says you can't do something a certain way. If someone says, no, you can't do it that way, that annoys the crap out of me. Because there's this thing you can't do it. Yes, you can. Just because it's not optimized doesn't mean you can't. It's not the same thing. The word can't should not exist there. Hey, Elbow, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Hey, Joe, sir, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Happy Friday, guys. Oh, don't make that uncompressed. I meant to make this a normal map. This is the one that needs to be uncompressed. Program moderators, make it work, then make it work well. I mean, I feel like that's true for like most people for anything. Like get it working to a degree. And then you can fix it up later. Which is what I mean, that's good for prototyping in general. Get the prototype done and then polish it after, right? It's the same thing. Hey, Mogamu, come in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. A print screen, Prince, I assume you mean a print string is fine. Debugging with breakpoints has its uses, but it's no law. Yeah. No, like I will use breakpoints in certain cases where I'm like, I know I need to check like multiple variables in like a little area. But a lot of times I'll just rather just put in 2 print strings of different colors and just like run it multiple times in editor and just visualize it. Because if it's like on a loop, instead of stepping through it, I'd rather just do a print string, have it like stay on screen for 5 seconds and take a little screenshot of it all, right? And then I just see it over time, right? Like for example, in a loop scenario, it's just, the result is the same, right? We're all getting to the same place. It's just how do you get there? Did you check the async message subsystem? I don't even know what that is. No, because I don't know what that is. Oh, that's so much cleaner. Yeah, without the shadow, it's just so much nicer. Removing the shadow, it just makes this whole thing cleaner. I still can't believe that freaking the compression is causing so many issues, though. Like, it seems like on this one it's okay, but I'm just not taking chances on them anymore. With it changing the color. Breakpointing and going through a big struct or a bunch of nested class info isn't always more efficient. It works for you, yeah. If you need to read all the things on a struct, great. Like a lot of times I try using breakpoints and there's a freaking loop And trying to step through things when there's just a loop node in general is just like, kill me. 5 years of programming in C# and C++. I've probably used breakpoint once or twice, most of the time just debugging with text. You see, stringer format makes good use of showing things what they do. Yep. It's a nice replacement for interface and event dispatcher in a lot of cases. Uses tags. Async message subsystem? I've never heard of this. And you're telling me there's a thing that... Is it C++ only? Are you trying to throw C++ my way? You should know better. Is that why I don't know it about? Because it's C++. No, it's Blueprint. Async message subsystem. It's a plugin. Sends through a wild card. Is it just... Okay, that message is the... Why is it called message here and payload here? Shouldn't it be payload? Okay. Interesting. One of Unreal's best kept secrets is the gameplay message subsystem, a hidden gem that completely changes how systems communicate. Most projects rely on casts, references, and event dispatchers. It works until your game grows and everything becomes dependent on everything else. Then when debugging turns into chaos. The gameplay message subsystem fixes that by letting systems broadcast intent through gameplay tags instead of direct connections. Once this sends a signal, and any listener tuned to that tag reacts instantly. Oh, so it's a global system based on gameplay tag. Well, I've been looking for this for a long time. Because, like, especially for things like the options menu. Like when you just change something in the options and you can let like everything that maybe is dependent on that option be updated at the same time. Oh, this is awesome. Okay, well, thank you for letting me know about that. I'm gonna get that set up probably. We're gonna continue with this, but yeah, that's been looking for something like that. The thing buried in life, forgot about this. Yeah, that's awesome. It's like always you have to know when to use it. It's not a solution to replace every dispatcher and like text calls and interfaces. Yeah, things like that is a good fit for it. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna replace every single thing with it. I don't think it makes sense. But like, I have there's an option I have in the main menu. Main menu. In here, I have the player health bar and the enemy health bar. Player health bar, very easy to update, right? Enemy health bar, I have to update this for every single enemy currently in the world. So that becomes a little more of a pain in the ass. So that, I think, is going to make that a lot better and more streamlined, because then I can be like, hey, there's an update. Update your thing to the new version. The new version is the async message system. Here, let's go to edit, plugins, async, message subsystem. What are the tests? It's experimental. You want to tell me what this is? And you don't, I love how it doesn't even have a link to a documentation. There's like, it doesn't have any info. Let's restart. You get some good amount of performance there, especially if the game is top down. Yeah, YouTube, I don't know how YouTube's filtering is. I have to literally have filtering to off on YouTube, and somehow some messages still don't get sent. Please complain to YouTube. I genuinely do not know. I have no control over it. I've literally turned off any filtering. You look at default scalability, especially for Lumen and Shadows in Project Content Control. I've disabled Lumen, actually. In the last few days, for this recent package build, I turned off Lumen. There's not really any visual big difference, and I gained 20% performance. I was never gonna be using like Lumen like forever, probably. The main thing is, the big thing that made me like realize, oh yeah, Lumen is being able to see my stats in the packaged build. For those that don't know, I might have missed that stream. Here, I'm gonna load up. This is a packaged build, a full shipping build, okay? This is a full shipping build. And check this out, in a full shipping build. That ain't, that's not a debugging build, that's a shipping build. And I can see the stuff. Which is crazy to me still. So because of this, because I was able to see all of this instead of just the frame rate, I've been optimizing game, because for me game was high when it was an editor, but apparently most of it was just literally editor. And now game is like at nothing. It'll be a little higher if we get into the actual like dungeon, but the main ones are right RHI and GPU. So I'm like, oh yeah, okay, well that makes sense. see now I'm like, okay, now I don't. I've been optimizing the characters to such a degree, because I've been trying to figure out like why is it so like performance heavy, but really it's the characters have been fine. Like game right now is at 2 milliseconds there, like fully working. It goes like 3 milliseconds there. It's hovering around, let's say 3 milliseconds, right? Draws like 2 point something, but RHI's at 9 and GPU's like a 910, right? So like the thing that I didn't realize that the editor went on game. Like I know editor takes a performance hit. I just didn't expect it to be this insane. Editor's so heavy, forces you to optimize hard, epic genius. I mean, I mean, genuinely, I optimized these characters to like a good, like a large degree, and I could not figure out why I can't get it lower. When it turns out the performance hit really has been for me the GPU and RHI. So honestly, I might try re-enabling nanite after that. Because before, nanite would increase lower my frame rate, but maybe now with RHI be one of the higher ones, maybe nanite will actually lower it, because it's one of those things that you gotta test out in a shipping build. Also, that was pretty good performance. I mean, I guess I didn't have Unreal focused, so it was in the background. Yeah, it's pretty pleased. Oh yeah, I can't see. I wish there was a place here that had like enabled plugins, like ones you have enabled that, and ones you have disabled that compared to like the defaults, right? Like we just enabled that plugin, and I wish I could be like, oh, what was it again? And just like click on it, but nope, it's gone into the void. I still have the tab open, so I know it. It'd be nice, you know. But I mean, there's a lot of things that would be nice, like, you know, them updating the launcher, but you know, we can't expect the impossible here. You bake light without lumen, you would get. Oh yeah, that's the plan. I plan to do baked lighting, but for now, just regular dynamic. I swapped it to screen space. Hey Joser, did our mutual friend talk to you about some recent developments, by the way? Wish you could disable it, but without lumen, indoor scenes look just way worse. You have to add additional fake lights to make the light spread there. No, if you're doing baked lighting, there's the what's it called? It's not a color correction window. God, there's a thing that makes the light mass importance value. It's specifically designed to put into Windows. Yeah, the portal. Is that what it's called? Yeah, light mass portal. That's the one. Yeah, and this will help direct the light to be better for the interior. Freaking the names of things, you guys just gotta remember them and I forget them. It's been a while since I used them. Am I joining you guys? That's not up to me. Well, I mean, it is up to me, but let's just say September. Yeah, the light mass portals. Let me see if I have a. I have mass portals. Here it is. So without portal, with portal. It really helps indoor baked lighting. It's literally just designed to put in windows. Right. Without portals, well, this is a terrible example. There's barely any difference. Here, I'll link this. It's not a set thing, by the way, Joser. He said he'll make a note of it, and that's it. So. No discussions were had beyond that. You're going to sleep now? It's 5. Jesus Christ, yeah. Go to sleep. 5 o'clock? Yeah, get some sleep. Hope you have a good, nice weekend. Get some rest, get some sleep. Have I integrated DLSS? Yes. I have all of the things. I have DLSS, FSRS, and XISS. Basically the Intel one, the NVIDIA one, and the AMD one. All in the project. I test nothing with like 0 upscaling of any kind at 100%. That's my benchmark. Ideally, I would like to try to get to like 150 FPS on my 4080 at 1440p. If I can get above 150 FPS, I'll be somewhat satisfied. I would love to get above 200 on the 4080, but like I'm gonna be realistic with myself on that one. Did I get the plugins from Fab? What plugins? Oh, DLSS. No. You get it from their website. Each one of them has their own page for them. Yeah, none of them are in Fab. Oh, look at that! Yeah, see, it's so much cleaner now. Like the sprite reads so much like cleaner. Unfiltered, combined with removing the shadows, just makes it read, yeah, a lot cleaner. I don't think we didn't do the run yet, right? We need to do still the run. Or did we do the run? We didn't do the run, right? Let's see. No, we have not done the run yet. Run, bud. Has issues tab out. Your test took 10 seconds when you tab out and again in. I can't speak on that one. I don't know. I've put them in for people, but it's not like I have any settings to change. That's the thing, right? The only thing I can do is add it in and give the option of enabling it. But any kind of like issues or anything that could arise from it, I have no control over. That's why you removed it again? It worked bad? I mean, you don't have to have it always enabled. You just have it to be an option. This is what I have. So in my main menu, right, I just have upscaling method here. TSR, FSR, DLSS, XCSS. The people will complain why it works so bad. You either don't give it bad impression. I mean, you could just optimize it so it won't be bad by default. I mean, you can. I mean, right? People will then complain about the 10-second thing. People with Thread Interactive make a video. I watched a bit of Thread Interactive, and then I was like, okay, this is. It's pointless to watch. Like, it's too negative about things, about a lot of stuff that really genuinely doesn't matter to the average person. When you look at the average consumer, most things that are complained about just do not matter to them. So, like, at that point, why complain? I wouldn't say the guy doesn't know shit. I wouldn't go that far. But, like, it doesn't. From the little bit that I've watched, it doesn't. It's not looking from the. It doesn't look from the point of view of the average consumer. It looks more from just the technical side of things, is one. And two, it doesn't take into consideration time or money. From what I saw. That's the two. Right? It's not from the point of view of the average person, and it's not accounting for time and money. Because a lot of times, yeah, you can do things the more optimized in the better way, but it'll take more time and or money, which obviously people will want to cut down. Right? It's like nanite. Nanite versus LODs. Can you make much better, more optimized things if you did beautiful and amazing LODs? Absolutely. Do you know how much more time that will take compared to enabling nanite? A significant amount of time. And guess what time is? It's money. Right? Like, it's like that. And then for the average consumer, they don't give a shit. They just want the game to be fun and performant. That's it. It's just, as long as it's fun and performant, the consumer does not give a shit about anything. The game can look like garbage. If it's fun for them and it performs, they're not gonna care. It will still sell well. But Nanite and Luma eats your performance? That's his point? Oh yeah. But that doesn't mean you can't make it optimized while still using that. And also, performance is subjective for the game you're making. 60 FPS, people would like more than 60 FPS, yeah. But for the average person, that's plenty for them. And then they're happy to turn on DLSS and get more. The average person, that's it. They love DLSS. Right? And they're fine using it, so that's it. Not saying it's wrong, but that's just reality. And Nanite Nanite has a bare minimum cost when you enable it, right? It has like, you're guaranteed a certain performance cost. But if you were to actually try to do an environment that specializes in nanite, you would never be able to even load that environment without nanite. Right? Because you could have an environment of hundreds of millions of tries and be optimized thanks to nanite that you could not do otherwise. But because its scaling is insane. right? The scaling of nanite is insane, but it has a minimum cost. So yeah, your base cost will go up, but the scaling is insanely good. And you just have to be okay with that. Again, time, money, and average consumer are really the three things. But like, I agree with a lot of the points. I just don't think a lot of the points matter. So I personally don't watch this stuff. Because of that, that's basically all we're going with that. That was a long. 9 Lumen targets 60 FPS. Yeah, the whole targeting X frame rate never makes sense to me because it doesn't specify the hardware. 60 FPS on what? What hardware? In what environment? I can make Nana and Lumen be 60 FPS with a cube. What's in the environment? How much stuff is in there? How many lights are right? Like, there's not enough there to be like, oh yeah, PS5, cool. We now know the hardware. What's in the environment? What's how much stuff in there for it to be right? Because a large dense forest with all moving leaves is going to be different performance than, you know, a flat ground with a pole there. Right? You soup blur in and ghosting. Wait, hold on. I got. Where is it? No, you don't have to apologize. It's funny. As long as people don't actually insult anyone, I don't care. You have to optimize the scenes and also config settings. You get like 190 to 200 FPS with FSR and quality. AA quality and everything else, graphics. But when you go native, you're like, I mean, 120 FPS is still good. And it also depends on the game, right? Like, freaking City Skylines 2 was trying to optimize for 30. Right? Their goal FPS was 30, not 60. Because for City Gen, they said, oh, for City Gen, you don't need that frame rate. And they reached 20. Dude. I mean, I made a short about it a long time ago, but I loaded up. I got City Skylines 2 because I really played a lot of City Skylines 1 in a blank level on a 4080 and an old first gen i9 processor. It was an i9, but it was literally the first gen that came out. That was i9. It was an old i9 processor. I had less than 30 FPS in a blank world. So I was like, okay, well, I just refunded it. It's like, because if like in a blank world, I can't get 30 FPS. There's no hope for me to actually have a fully functioning city and have it perform it. And our calls, Epic, they keep mentioning that their target is 60 hertz. I'm going to hope that you're just talking to like the PR or like, you know, like the people, not the technical people. I was gonna hope that. Where is the run? So it's one of these. Is it this one? I think it's this one. Sort of. I don't know.
The ads strike without warning, but I strike first. Timeline.
I think it's this one. It's your monthly calls with the dev. Wait, it's with devs, and the devs said hurts. $120. I mean, I'm 4080 on my game, and I'm struggling to get 120. Right, so. So I still have a little bit to go. I wonder how you're basically forced to enable FSR. Well, it depends on like what you're trying to hit for the older hardware, right? If your goal is 60, you might be able to still get it without FSR. So you used to use Entity Component System, which was very experimental at the time. Doesn't run well on older CPUs, but better on newer multi-threaded CPUs. Interesting. I mean, it makes sense that newer CPUs would be better at stuff. Another subject you're not doing: root motion atoms. No, well, how could I? I can't. Root motion is not an option for me. That's not a possibility, Joser. Did you forget? Did you forget that it's kind of hard to do root motion when you have no root? A lot of people see it as a top-down game, even with good graphics. They expect more FPS. Well, you have to compare it to games of that type, not just top-down, right? Because if you compare, like, for example, my game is going to be similar to, like, Path of Exile in a degree, right? In terms of, like, it's more like an ARPG. So, that is also top-down, right? So, what's the performance of that? Right? And what is the performance of like a game like Hades 2? What is the performance of like Diablo 4? So that's going to be my like ballpark of figuring out where's the performance that I'm trying to aim for to be around there. Now I'm doing it myself. I don't have a giant team, so I'm not expecting to actually get to those same values. But if it's like around there, like within like 10%, 15%, I'll be like, that's good enough. Oh, I understood why, Josser. I understood why. What is the performance of Red Alert 3? I don't know. I assume pretty bad. It's probably really bad because they're in Red Alert. I mean, they should. If it was good, they wouldn't be in Red Alert. Red Alert, I think, is the worst one. So 3 is probably the frame rate. Run. Ooh, hold on. Oh no, this is at 12 FPS. Good. Good. I didn't set this to 12. I wish the scripting tab was not dependent on what's it called? I wish I could have like a global scripting tab, basically. Orthographic to resolution X. Bloodborne is only 30 FPS. It's one of the best games of all time. Yeah. Yeah, when I say that the game used to be performant, I don't mean that it has to run at like 200 frames per second. I just mean like for what people would find playable for whatever that game type is, right? An FPS would need higher frame rate. A like point and click adventure would need lower frame rate, right? Performant just moves, that number moves up and down. So as long, if you're making for consoles, will people play at 30 FPS? Yeah, they will. Would they want higher? Of course. But then they're, but then you're optimizing for 30 FPS. And that, and depending on your game, you could probably make an entire game on, you could probably make the entire game on tick, depending on the game. And as the consumer would not know or care at all. Oh, this does not have the... Does it have the lighting? Wait. Yeah, it has the lighting. Let's see. Here, you select you. Turn off shadows. It is such a, by the way, it is such a creepy face. Can we just all agree that this is really creepy in this way? We can probably shrink down the height. Nope. You. There you go, that's better. That's a better fit. She's a very empty stare, she does. I removed her eyes pretty much entirely. When rendering like the straight on ones, when it was like when it had white, it would sometimes appear as a white pixel, and that looked really weird. So it randomly potentially appearing as a black pixel, it just is better. I could have made it the same color as the skin. That would have been even creepier here, I guess. But most likely the character will need to be like just a low poly character for the redesign. You also use the ground text VFX package, and there is deprecated stuff in the VFX and also distance field calculations, and it broke completely on the GPUs. Check your skills, if possible, on AMD GPUs. I mean, look, if I'm so early on that, I mean, I don't have an AMD GPU. You're welcome to try out the game if you have an AMD GPU. I got nothing. I have no way of testing that. Not a single one of my computers, my laptop or my desktop has AMD. So, can't really do that. It'll be bought with the first million? Wait, what? I wish I had $1 million. Internal playtester noticed it, and it was also takes years to answer thing and fix it, but who knows? Time to go sleep. Oh, it's 6 in the morning? Yeah, probably a good time to go to sleep. Honestly, it probably is almost a good time to wake up. Maybe just pull an all-nighter at this point and just go to sleep at the normal time and just reset your sleep schedule at this point. Dear God. My good sir. No, precisely 5:45. Yeah, it's almost wake up time. You try to sleep 4 hours and then reset like that. I mean, if that works for you, yeah. I haven't needed to reset my sleep schedule in a long time, but whenever I needed to, the way I always did it was just pulling an all-nighter and then going to sleep at the correct time the next time. It involved a lot of like Red Bulls and stuff and caffeine. but it worked. You used to have to go to sleep at the right time and then set an alarm to wake up at the right time, so you don't like sleep like in way too late either. And then it gets easier to then now go back to sleep at around the same time. Is he real tired all day until it's like 2 a.m. again? You sleep late again? No. You're supposed to go to sleep at the right time again. The whole point is you're resetting. There was around the time of PoE closed beta over a decade ago, there was a time when I was unemployed and would play PoE all day. And then there came a time when I was going to sleep at like 4 or 5 a.m. And then I just, one day, like, okay, I gotta reset my schedule, and then I just did an all-nighter, and that was good. I'm not saying it's going to work for everyone, but for me it worked. Why does it pick 8 colors by default? Because it makes her look naked. Can we just... Let us do this.
My game isn't lagging, it's just playing in cinematic 1 FPS for a more intense artistic experience.
There you go. I love the argument of like, we're trying to make the game cinematic, so we made the game cap at 24 frames a second. Don't do that. Don't do that. For the love of God. I've heard that somewhere. There was a game that did that. That had a cap of 24 FPS to make it more cinematic. But the motion blur, it's so artistic. Just really crank that up, right? Just make it so like every tiny little movement is like... So just pure colors. I know, like, I don't know anyone that uses motion blur, but I'm curious, does the layman care about motion blur? That I don't know. Oh, like visually, like for some games, it looks nicer with motion blur for sure. If I recall, motion blur originally was there for like hiding problems. Like, or not hiding problems, hiding frame rate issues? I forget. Nope. I forgot what it was for. I think it was no. It was either it was to hide either quality or frame rate. I don't remember, so I'm not gonna pretend like I remember at this point. Okay. Updated run. Here we go. So the run right now is this. It's kind of noisy still, right? You have the shadow here. So let's see what the run will be like after this. First of all, let's kill all of this. It's the same frame rate actually. But the names are different. The names are different, so it wouldn't work. So I need to kill it anyway. Have you experimented to render out normal paths from Blender? Yes, that was the original thing that I was doing. I talked about it a little bit in the devlog that came out today. But the problem that I basically ran into is it really does look too much like a character, like a 3D character, when I want it to look more like a sprite, like an actual 2D sprite. So having the normal just on the edges makes it still look like a sprite and gets the nice effect. And I can show what I'm talking about in just a second as well. Normal map. It's gonna go from 575 to 2300. But now, yeah, see, that feels less noisy, doesn't it? I feel like that's a lot better. It still has like some of this stuff, but it's definitely less noisy. So, okay, let me, I need to, hold on, let me plug in the run here. And then I could show. Yeah, turning off the shadows, I think, is the right call. So let's let me show you. Oh, I closed. There's a plugin that allows you to reopen closed tabs. Fantastic plugin. I recommend it. Like, I forgot I accidentally closed this and I wanted to keep it open. I just reopen a closed tab like you can in a browser. It's so nice. Let me grab characters, enemy. Yeah, let's grab you. And let's grab a 2D one. Okay. And then let's make a light. If I can find like a good spot. Oh, yeah, that's fine. So, I can find a good spot for me as well. It's gonna be hard to find the spot where it gets me the result I want. It needs to be from the side. And from here. I think she's in the spot where I need to be. The point is, right, if you look at the three of us, right? Is the normal map on? Wait a second. Did I turn the normal map off? Oh my god, the normal map's off. That's why. I was thinking, like, in the package build too. I was like, it feels very flat. There we go. Okay. That's what I was expecting. Whoopsie. So here you can see this is the difference, right? So this is a regular sprite character. This is a normal map on an actual normal from a 3D character. And you can see that it shines on it like a 3D character would, right? It has all of the intricacies. It understands it a lot more. It goes over the form, right? And this is just an outline. But if the goal is look like a sprite, this looks like a sprite, and this looks like a noisy character. Right? So this is working to be more like the actual sprite than this. Even though, I mean, this is also a 15 FPS, this is a 12. Ignore the animation on this one, but like, right, this works better in my opinion. It still has the lighting affected, but it's not the full thing. So I like this look a lot more. Obviously, we're using a hot pink light here. If I made this just a white light, right? Obviously it's way overblown, but still, right? Right? This looks cool. This doesn't really work great. Right? At least to me. And the only difference here is just an outline normal versus a full character normal. So yeah, that's the thing. So let's take a look at the character now. And this is a 1.0 normal. I might need to go to 0.5. But yeah, it's so much cleaner now without those shadows and without a little bit of the fixing the compression thing. I think it's reading a lot better than it used to. It reminds me of those old 2D games in its frame rate and everything. And this environment, none of this environment really has anything that makes use of the outline thing, right? The neural map really. This emits a light, but not strong enough to even notice it. So I'd need to like actually add in and design the environments to have like cool lights in places so you get those effects. But that's, I think, the next step. But yeah, if I go actually into the dungeon, you'll also see the problem with those 3D character ones. Here. I can't believe I forgot to turn it on. And I was like looking at it, I was like, why is it not doing the weird normal thing? And that's why. That is why. So, right, these guys are full 3D. This is full 3D, right? This guy's 2D. He has an outline on him, like a post-processed one. But the point is, as the things load in, get a moment to load all their effects in, all their animations. Okay, we're good yet? Right, the point I want to make here is, can I do this? Are they going to pause? No. Even these guys, right, read 3D. They don't read like sprites. They don't look like 2D sprites. They look like pixelated 3D. Which is not what I want. I want it to be more like this guy, where it reads like pixel art. And flat, right? But still have a little bit of that, you know. Still be affected by the lighting and all of that, but right? That's pretty cool. That's a great still frame. Have you seen the trailer for The Last Night? Probably never be finished, but it looks cool. I have not. I have not heard of it. Is it a horror thing? I mean, October is, like, not too far away. So maybe I'll play a new horror game. For, best looking pixel art in my opinion? Oh. Is it on Steam? Oh, yeah, it's 2017 E3 trailer. Yeah. I'm not gonna play it with sound because I'm not even gonna fully play it either. Just because YouTube copyright. See, that's really cool. Yeah. Oh yeah, I've seen this kind of style like a lot in pixel art. I don't know how popular that style was in 2017, but definitely these days I've seen quite a bit of it. Why am I in the tub? Oh, see that right there? See, that's what I really want to do, like this kind of like cool cinematic shallow depth of field stuff. Can't do it really with top down much, but that's why I added in like I really wanted that depth of field, which is also why I did the very vertical like dungeon stuff, because I really like seeing down below. 3D and 2D mix is awesome. I agree. The first time I saw it was in Octopath Traveler. I never played it, but like I saw like videos of it, and I was like, that is awesome. And then was the inspiration for the right. But now I have this, and I need to figure out how to make this depth of field feel more cinematic. And make it feel like, because one of the issues with the depth of field that I don't know how to solve at the current moment is, let's see if I can find a spot where I can show this. I mean, even here, it's blurring, right? It's blurring the textures, right? It's blurring this, but the actual geometry silhouette is hard still. It's not blurring. It's blurring the object, but it's not blurring the silhouette. Because to blur the silhouette would mean to basically blur the actual like scene post render stuff. So, but it's possible that down the line, why do you want depth of field? To get the nice look down. I really when I have the dungeon, which is very much top down, where you can see down below, having the layers of fog and depth of field is, I think, really nice. And as you like continue going down, right, you see it clears up and more. Like even here, like it's only. Excuse me. Excuse me? Is there a spot there that you go layers of fog? But see, I don't want to completely make it invisible. I still need to figure out how to do the layers of fog as well. Like in a way that works. Right now I have just one big fog volume. Right, you can see here, right? I like the depth of field. Right, I like that it gets blurrier down below versus just getting grayer. Personally. Why is that a... Let's take a look. Not saying completely hiding in the fog. Yeah, I understand. I just really like the depth. I just like the more shallow depth of field type effect. I just visually really like it. I think one of the inspirations for the game was, as I was saying, Octopath Traveler. And if we take a look at Octopath Traveler, right, there's a lot of depth of field. Right, you're not doing this with just fog cards. And I just really like the actual depth, like blur effect. Mine's not this intense. I might be increasing it down the line to make the really far distance around this blurry. But the main thing is, right, I still need to make it so the silhouettes also blur a bit more. What might need to happen is a post-process depth of field thing. Oh yeah, why is this not here? Yeah, why does this not have oops. Oopsie. That explains that. You. There we go. There we go. To move it just a little bit. Now we're good. Yeah, the miniature look almost still shift. Yeah, they do. The camera area and focal length are quite different. Oh, absolutely. But I still like the depth of field look. I know it comes with a performance hit. And that might be just an option in the options menu to be like enable or disable depth of field. Like down the line. Because you can just get more performance right with turning it off. But I would like, you know, I do like it. I just wanted to look a little bit better. I need to figure out the settings for it. I'm not an expert in that department. I don't do really cinematics, as you might imagine, so. Since you had issues, let me check the boss room. Oh, the boss room was fine. Yeah, it's artistic choice. Exactly. Isn't that demanding? So go for it. It's a few milliseconds. Well, it's a few milliseconds in editor. In a package build, it might be less. I think it was like 1 or 2 milliseconds. I forget what it's under though. I forget what is it under game? No, it goes under GPU, right? It goes under GPU. When you take pictures of DLSR, you have to try to get as much depth of field as possible. Yeah, same thing, right? Like it's the. And like, if we look here, I'll just move my camera, right? Right, there's just so much depth here, right? That I think if I could get like nicer, better depth of field, I think it's just gonna look really nice, especially like when you're on these bridges and you just see like the depth here, and you just see it all getting blurrier as it's further along. I just haven't figured out how to make the set, like how to do like the settings in a sense, because like I know I can specify the focus distance, but it feels like there's like the range of like from blurriest to like that transition period. I feel like it's very hard to control, but that's probably just because I don't know the setting to control that with. You go for, oh no, I want to do both. I'm not trying to do just one or the other. I'm gonna be doing both. I haven't figured out a good way of doing the fog layers though, because I don't want to do just a bunch of cards, because that's just a lot of like computing. I'm using a local fog volume, or was it an atmospheric? I'm using a volume for fog to help with that. Let's see if I go to the dungeon. Here, let's just build a random dungeon. Did it generate? No, it generated 2 levels. Let me try. Oh, 3 levels. Right. So, yeah. This is through fog. And it helps. The atmospheric is 100% helping. This is just pure atmospheric fog. I just want to have both. It could even go being increased, honestly. Maybe it should even be increased. The problem is the fog, or at least this fog, doesn't affect. It doesn't really blend well with the background, in my case. So, I just need to adjust it. Maybe somewhere in the middle. I'll just set it a little bit higher. So yeah, I do have I have this, and then combined with depth of field, right? I think it's better. I don't remember if I have the settings here. No. Yeah, really the only ones I've been using are like these. Why is my focal distance like... And yes, I know I'm completely faking it right now with the values. There's no 1000 millimeter. It's because I didn't change the camera's aperture things above. So I don't know. Although here, that's blurring the edge. Why is it not blurring the edge in the other one? That's working. But the problem here for me is, and I don't know, again, this is one of those, I just don't know enough about depth of field in Unreal and how to control it. This is nice and focused, but here it's already super blurry. And I want to be able to like somehow control the fall off, like the intensity of the depth of field, if that makes sense. Like, I like this, but I feel I like... Yeah, so it is f-stop that controls that. Okay. So like I was saying, I didn't control the camera stuff. So that is what controls it? Okay. Not exposure. Camera. 1.8. Shutter speed. 3,000. No. I mean, this would technically remove some motion blur if I increased it, but you just go exposure. I'm not gonna save this one. Right, so that increased it. So there's more here. So I guess if I wanted less here, I increase it, don't decrease it. I just for shits and giggles just do 10. Yeah, but see, it's now more in focus here as well, right? There's not gonna be like a winning easy number. Oh yeah, I know that. That's why I have to change the exposure and all that. So like it all makes sense. Thankfully, I know enough about cameras in that regard. But the focus, yeah, the focus distance is, if you go too high, it will make the foreground blurry, which is what I found. Actually, no. So like if you overshoot it, right, it'll blur the foreground. But I don't want it to blur the foreground. So I have to keep it relatively, depending on my values, I have to keep it pretty much at the character distance. So whatever the distance between the camera and the character is, that's my focal focal distance. Try the mobile depth of field. Not. How do you use the mobile one? I can't even like. I need to turn these on. I can't even like edit this. Like I don't know how the mobile depth of field even works because I can't even edit these values. You have to enable the render. Ah, that's fine. Set this to 1.5. I'll increase the density of the fog. Sensor size? Is that an option? Oh yeah, for the But again, right? It's for me. It's just I haven't figured out how do I have that depth of field start at a substantial distance, but I want everything before it in focus. And the problem is that everything before it is not automatically in focus. That's what I really need. So most likely what I'll need to do is, my own depth of field using the depth pass and the problem is there's no blur. There's no Gaussian blur. Like I gotta just apply to the. This is not how that works. How what works? What part specifically? Close you guys down. I have to push your background elements further away and play on that scale. Yeah, I can't procedurally generate a dungeon. I can't do that. Yep. Like in a sense I could, but then you're visually like it would change, right? If you it's from the focal point in both directions. Yeah, exactly. So most likely I'll have to do is do some kind of post-process fake depth of field. Use a render texture and get a mid pyramid, then use it as blur. And you can use the Z position instead of the camera depth. Oh, true, I could use the Z position. I want to do a render texture. I'll probably just use a scene thing. I mean, I don't know. How would you do with a render texture? It would be the same thing as using just the scene render, right? And you can't get the positions of stuff through that. There is a blur node, as far as you know. As far as I know, I've never seen one. I've wanted a blur node in materials for the longest time. Where's this magical blur node? I want to know. Well, radial blur is a very specific type of blur. There's spiral blur, right? But that's a very specific. You need one HLSL, so I mean, yeah. Okay, but you see here, there's no like blur. Like if I want just like a simple like Gaussian blur, but here's the thing: I can't even put a texture. What do I put the texture in, or what do I put the non-texture in? Blur intensity normals, and iOS, which is a scalar. Where there's not even a place for a texture or anything. Spiral blur, distance, scene steps, radial offsets, AA, distance mask. I guess it specifically blurs the scene texture in this case. So you can't. Yeah, okay. So there might be one for. Oh, there's a texture one. Okay, hold on. But this is a spiral blur, right? The spiral blur is a circle blur. If you want just a regular like Gaussian, just make blurry, right? Isn't this not the same? Also, it's only textures. Yeah, a lot of times I want to blur like values. So yeah, that still doesn't give me that. But almost I mean, all blurs are almost Gaussian blurs in the sense that they're blurs. I mean, it's worth trying, for sure. I mean, I'm not throwing it out completely. Use a dithering node in Unreal Engine. Yeah, that's okay. There's as far like I've tried many things. I haven't tried that one specifically because I've usually when I need to blur values. Like if I just do a ramp and then do a step. Right? If I want, like, a lot of times I find myself wanting to do linear gradients, step. Right, a lot of times I just have values, and now I want to blur this edge. No, right? Even the spiral one's not gonna help me here. Can't do it. There's no blur. It's cool that the spiral one has the scene texture one built in. I didn't know about that one. And I could try that down the line, but yeah, like there's no like actual like blur that can be used. If I want to just blur this edge, SOL. Oh well. HLSL. You're the one who just said it's slow as fuck. Those were your exact words. I can even screenshot them back to you. So that's not an option then. One, I don't know HLSL, and two, if it's slow, then it's not really gonna. Only option you're aware of? I mean, the other option is to take that, bake it out, and blur it in Photoshop or something and put it back in as an actual texture. That is the alternative. You just can't do it at runtime. But you can like bake that right ramp thing to a texture, blur it, put it in as a texture. It is less performant in that regard, but it would work. I don't know what a MIP pyramid is, but I know you can change the MIP resolution of your texture to blur it. I've done that in the past. If that's what you're referring to. I've done that. You just lower the resolution. And so that's the, okay. Yeah, you just reduce the resolution of the texture to blur. For render textures. Yeah, that makes sense. But it's global. Yeah, it would be, yeah, blur everything the same way. You wouldn't be able to do like a depth of field type effect with that method. That's okay. I mean, again, I'll probably play with it. That is such a like low thing on the tone pole for me that I'll play with the settings down the line at some point where I just feel like it. I have lots of other stuff that I need to actually work on. So, yeah. Not a priority in the slightest. Well, this Sunday we're finally putting the traffic system with intersection support fully spawning in the city gen. So yay, look forward to that video. That's finally coming. Took like what, 8 videos? Like almost 2 months for that? But hey, get in there. Finally we're getting there. And then we'll go back to a bit of more normal PCG stuff. It's an awesome system. Well, I'm glad you like it. Yeah, we'll go back to more of the like normal one-of-one type PCG videos for a while, just because I know people have missed those and it's been 2 months of non-PCG content. So yeah, we'll do that afterwards. Well, the PCGK video, I'm glad. I am glad. But anyways, guys, that is the end for today. Hope you all had fun and you learned something. Or not. I mean, I don't care. You don't have to learn anything from me. There's not much to learn. Let's be honest. I hope you all have a fantastic weekend, though. And I'll see you all on Monday. Bye. Thank you so much for the cheer.
Cheers.
Bye.